This is part two with Miss Patricia Williams, the president and CEO of the Wesley House. The Wesley House is true to their mission. They help people. When I was a child, I went there and had fun and played. And then after I became an adult, I sent my kids, and they empowered us to fight for our daycare. When in 1980 we went to Frankfurt, we were empowered by the Wesley House, and they're still helping people help themselves. Y'all check out the Wesley House. Don't cheat yourself. Check them out, but enjoy our conversation. So honored and grateful to have this young lady, this mighty woman that I'm learning even the more about her character, about her heart. And it's just amazing to me that she said yes. I call her Miss Patricia because someone that works with her calls her Miss Patricia. And I met her heart. I could get emotional because that's who I am. I met her heart through this young man. I talked to this young man by the name of Ty through his wife. And it's amazing how things just don't oops and happen. It all works together. And then I found out that this young man worked at this place called the Wesley House, y'all. Honey, it ain't just a place. But anywho, I found that out. And then he was sharing with me about Miss Patricia, how she saw something in him. And he went on. And I thought Miss Patricia was going to be an old woman. And he was going on, and how Miss Patricia was pulling out of him, and Miss Patricia. So then that made me go to the website to see what this Miss Patricia looked like, because I thought maybe she has some senior citizen in her, you know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, so this young lady that I'm going to ask her to introduce herself. And y'all, guess what? This is our party. But this young lady, to God be the glory, she's the president and the CEO at the Wesley House. And I met that man, and now I'm meeting this lady. So Miss Patricia, if you will introduce yourself and anything you would like us to know, as well as, girl, I'm not a stalker, but I'm on Facebook because I'm a social media influencer. And he said you're a disruptor. So after you intro yourself, what's it mean? Okay, so I'm ready.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Charlene, for the invitation. I do want to just ask a quick question because I think I may have some misunderstanding, and just like I want to know like what this audience is in this space, that who I'm speaking to.
Girl, it's not only local, it's international. It's in Jamaica. I have some new brothers. Not Jamaica, I'm sorry, Nigeria. Brother David, Brother Peter, we have joined together to make this platform go where only God could take it. Now that's over there across the river. And they call me Mugger. They'll probably post this. And I'm like, oh, ain't that precious? But and then we have my peers, people that are thinking that you might not be doing things in your late 60s, close to 70s. So they're peeping it. They won't compliment and they won't hit like, but they sure do tell me how encouraged they are. Then, girl, let me tell you some other people. You asked me, so you know I can talk. Girl, plenty of preacher people, because I'm a PK person, and preacher people, pastors, they're saying that this ministry is powerful. And I thought it was just a LLC. Now I call it a ministry. And then I got grands and greats, and they're like, child, you doing the thing. You got over 800. And I'm like, girl, y'all, God is doing the thing, because I didn't even know how to push these buttons. And then some people at church, I'm gonna shut up, Patricia, for real. They were telling me when I go ask them, because I'm just a little hyper, they say, Google it, Miss Child, just Google. So girl, I've been Googling, YouTubing, and here we are in our 5th season. And this 5th season is faith and favor in the 5th, because the audience is whoever God brings. And it's amazing. And then girl, well, anyway, it's about you. Okay, Miss Patricia. Introduce yourself. Don't get me to starting about how this girl, okay, you know how to, okay, yes, ma'am. Your turn.
Okay, thank you so much. No, I really appreciate that context. And I'm like, okay, had I had that understanding, I would have tried to put on some makeup or something. But anyway, we just gonna go with God. So My name obviously is Patricia Williams, and I'm a proud servant at Wesley House Community Services. I started here in August of 2020. I definitely believe that I was sitting here for a reason, in this specific season. That was definitely a time where, the world was, in a devastation around COVID, and everything has shut down. And I have been, this is just a testament because of just how things can work. You got to be careful, I always say, about what you speak into existence and what you ask for, because it can't happen. But I have been, praying, and even wrote in a vision in January of 2020 about wanting to be a Black female CEO. There's been a lot of challenges along the way just because of the time of coming in, and the position had been vacant for a while because the previous CEO had retired in January, and not knowing that the world was going to shut down. So I had, my work cut out for me, but it's been, a space for growth. My background and experience has been in human resources. So I have graduate degrees in human resource leadership and conflict management. I spent some time in corporate America, in staffing and recruitment, talent acquisition, and all these different things, but I didn't feel fulfilled. And then there was also a need for me. I knew that I needed to be present with my children. We had a sudden loss of their dad unexpectedly. And, sometimes in certain positions, they don't necessarily, I ain't gonna say they don't care, but it's sometimes organizations are so large that it's more like this is the policy as opposed to you as a person. So somebody told me about Louisville Central Community Centers, where I spent about 4.5, 5 years. And I went and applied and got that role. What I started to see was that I could easily align my professional experience, because I like workforce development. I like helping young Black women, especially because that was my story as a single mom, in terms of, figuring out career pathways and all of that stuff. But also, I wanted to be able to have the freedom to, move when my children needed me. Um, it's been, such a blessing. My mom is a preacher. So all growing up, I mean, that's what we did. We had to serve others before we ate on Thanksgiving. We had to go out. We stayed at church. It was an old school holiness church. So every day of the week, type of deal. So that part, like service, has been in me as part of my DNA. So it just seemed like everything really aligned with working in nonprofit, where you really get to see, the fruits of your labor. But all the stuff that I went to school for, it kind of like came full circle.
Wow, wow, wow. Girl, that's deep. You still got to tell me what disruptor means. But what you just said was what you just said. My baby, she's not a baby, but she got kids. She said, Mama, because I talk about the Wesley House after I met Ty. I met that woman. She's on the board at the Scholar House. And she said, I met that woman. The Wesley House is doing things, Mama. And she went on to share with me. So God is doing his God thing in your life as your mama prayed for. Girl, won't he do it? Won't he do it? Girl, okay. Woo. But anyway, I need to know, girl, I'm just talking about what I'm talking about, because what you just said is so huge that people can see that how God does have a setup. All things work together. That's one of my favorite. I just call it setup, but it's Romans 8:28. And how we just need to be willing and ready to do. And then here you are, people talking about you at wherever she went to, that whatever. And then at the 20th anniversary, girl, I looked at you. I wanted to shout, because I am a shout of praise is what I do. And I'm like, look at this young lady. Just so, well, anyway, what is a disruptor? That's on your Facebook page.
Yeah, so let me just start by saying that